Dear students, welcome to my channel KV's JEE NEET Academy. It is rightly said that well begin is half done. The getting through these two examinations, JEE and NEET, it is impossible by doing 10 days or 15 days. Now this is the complete 2 years dedicated and very sincere efforts are required for this one. Now in the interest of the students, those going for JEE NEET examinations, every year more than 10 lakh students are appearing for this examination. Huge competition is there, and for this examination to qualify, a coaching for 15 days crash course of no use at all. Now looking into this, many of the students are going for crash courses and simple coaching, this coaching, that coaching, that never worked. You can see every year's results, you can see the results are hardly they are coming, even less than 50% are there now. Now I made the mind to help the students to every day you go with the small tips and my videos that helps you to qualify in the JEE NEET examinations. I am going to start with the very first chapter of the PUC 2 physics, that electrostatics. Now what is electrostatics is a question here. Now we define the electrostatics as a branch of physics which deals with the study of charges at rest. Now this is, I reiterate you people, it is a branch of physics which deals with the study of charges at rest now. Then what these charges are there now? Ancient peoples are made some experiments rubbing one metal with another, and they come to know that the one matter is having such a property of attracting the another matter. This was further studied experimentally, and they have made many more experiments, and they come to conclusion that naturally there are two types of charges are existing now. One is called a positive charge, and this is denoted by the plus positive charge, and another is denoted by the negative charge now. Now from this you can see that there are only two types of charges are existing now, mainly positive and negative charges. Now the charged bodies are there. Now these charged bodies consist of such positive charges as well as negative charges now. Now suppose the charged body is having deficiency of the electrons, that means less number of electrons are there, then what happens? These charges are positively charged now. Suppose the charged body is having large number of negative charges, then it is a negatively charged bodies now. That means you have studied naturally every element consists of the atoms. Every atom consists of the electrons and protons. Electrons are negatively charged and protons are positively charged. In a neutral atom, the equal number of positive charges and equal number of negative charges are there. That means there is changes are there, variations are there. The number of positive charge or negative charge, depending upon that one, that becomes positive and negative charges. Now there are two types of charges are there, positive and negative. And how these two charges are represented now? Now you can say they are shown by the lines of forces. This is one line is there, this another line is there. Now I can show there are four lines are there like this, and these lines are there. Now they are nothing but, you can say they are like an vectors now. Now they represent some directions. Now the directions are like this. Direction is outside direction. All of them I am showing by an arrow mark now. Now this arrow mark is showing that they are directed away from the charge now. Now because of that one, this is known as a positive charge. Now come to this one, another one, they have got lines of forces are there, and you can say that these also having the lines of forces now. The only difference is these charges are directed towards the charge now. Then you can say that now this charge is there, now this is known as a negative charge. Now very first thing, there are two types of charges are there, positive and negative, and we are representing by diagrammatically as shown in the figure here. Now in the positive charge represented by lines of forces directed away from the charge, and negative charge is represented by the lines of force directed towards the charge. Now when you take, there are only two types of charges are there. They have further studied what they have done. Now they have taken one positive charge and they have taken there is another positive charge. Now they made an experiment with one negative charge and they have taken with another negative charge. Now then alternately they have taken one positive charge and they have taken negative charge. Now, or you can say another combination possible is negative and positive charges. Now what they find now, these two are like charges, positive positive, negative negative. These are like are there. You can find that they can show the repulsion, they repel each other, and when they are the opposite charges are there, and you can see in this one you can find that this is an attraction. This is attraction takes place. It is. That means what they understood now, there are only two types of charges are there. The like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. That means when this has been done now this has studied by one person called as a Coulomb, and this Coulomb has explained very well. That means there is attraction, repulsions are there now. Now this charge magnitude can be measured in the SI system by the name of the scientist, that is called as a Coulomb. Now this was a name of the scientist Coulomb and denoted by letter this is C. Now what after this, what it tells us now? Now electrostatics deals with the study of charges at rest. Now there are two types of charges are there, positive and negative, and they are represented by the directions of the lines. Now positive charges show that the lines of forces directed away from the charge, and negative charge lines of forces directed towards the charge. Now when I tried the combination of charges, now that positive positive, negative negative means they are like charges, they repel each other, and you can see that positive negative and negative positive, they are opposites, that attract each other. Now this was very basically studied. Now then they come to know that these are the phenomena that attraction repulsion takes place, and they wanted to know how to measure the magnitude of attraction and magnitude of repulsion. Now that means for this the person called as a Coulomb comes here, and this Coulomb explains the attraction and repulsion of this one. Now that is called the Coulomb's law. Now you can find this one, this is a very important word is there, that is the name of a scientist is there. This is the name of scientist is called as a Coulomb, and that is called as a Coulomb's law. Now let us take the Coulomb's law. What the Coulombs has told here, the Coulombs has say for example there is a one positive charge and for example there is a one negative charge is there. Then in between this one you can say these two are separated by the distance d here, the separated distance d. Now you people know obviously there are different charges are there, unlike charges attraction takes place here. That means we can call this as a charge q1 and we can call this as a charge q2 now. Now obviously this was given by the Coulomb such that he has told that the force of attraction in this case is directly proportional to this is q1 into q2. Then this can be interpreted, the force of attraction between the 2 point charges is directly proportional to product of magnitude of charges. And also what he has told now, that he has told that this force of attraction is there, it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. That means these two conclusions are there combined here. By combining this one, what they written, or it is written that F is proportional to this is q1, this is q2 upon d square, and this can be finally written as absolutely equal to k is taken as a constant here, and this is q1 q2 upon this is a d square. Now what all this k stands for? K is a constant of proportionality, and you know the k can be written as a value is called as a k is equal to, we are writing it as 1 upon this is 4, this is pi epsilon naught. Now this epsilon naught is permittivity of the free space. Now Epsilon naught is a permitted free space now, and we can say that the proportionality constant called electrostatic constant now. This K is now, this is also called as a, this is also known as a, this is called as an this is static, you can call electrostatic constant also. And also you can say that, you can say this is, or this is also called as a Coulomb, this is also called as a Coulomb constant also. Now focus on these points now. I am telling it is a constant of proportionality K is there. Now this K is called by the two names now. One is called electrostatic constant, another is the Coulomb's constant now. Now this is the K value is there. You can, when you go for the K value numerically, what you can find now, this K value becomes equal to numerical value of this one. Experimentally they obtained it is, this is 9 into 10 raised to 9. This is the unit of this one, Newton meter square. This is per Coulomb square now. Now this is what the numerical value of the K is there now. Now you can say here, when you look into the K value now, numerical value of the K now, let us deeply go as it required for the NEET examination. That means when you come in CGS system, I am writing this is in the CGS system. I hope you can call back to the CBS system now. Now if I write here K is equal to 1, you write this value for the K is equal to 1. Then what happens? The E naught is the permitted the free space now. The value of E naught is there for this one. The permitted the free space you write for this one. This becomes 8.85. This is 4 into 10 raised to minus, this is 12. This is Coulomb square. This is per Newton, and you write this is per meter square now. Now this is what the value is there now. This value is, this is experimentally determined now. This can be done experimentally now. That means this can not be theoretical, it is experimentally is there. Now this is what happens. Now this is permittivity of the medium. Dielectric constant K is there. Specific inductive capacity is there for this one. That means dielectric constant of medium is there when you write K is equal to 1. Now you can find that, as I told you, when K is equal to 1 you have written, then what happens? That becomes is equal to epsilon r. That means that becomes the permittivity or relative permittivity of this one now. That means when you wanted to write this one, you are writing it, this is equal to epsilon divided by epsilon naught it is. Now this is permittivity of the medium, and this is called absolute permittivity. The numerator is permittivity of the medium and denominator is the absolute permittivity. Now you can see that this is what you can say, that this is ER is there. Always relative permittivity can be obtained in comparison with the permittivity of the medium and absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity is the permittivity of the free space now. This can be taken and that can be done here. Now this is the first thing we people must remember here, how that constant is there, and this constant has got such a significance now. The law obeys with this constant only. Now let us take some drawbacks of Coulomb's law now. Now as I told you, the Coulomb's law tells us that how to measure the force of attraction and repulsion between the two charges now. Now these charges are there. Now they have got quantization. The charges are quantized here. Now what is this quantization means now? I can call it as a quantization. This also you have to remember now how the charges are available here, and you can say that this becomes as quantization. This is the term called as quantization of charge. I am writing here. You look it as the charges are quantized here. That means electric charge is there. That is a property by virtue which any charge exists only in the discrete packets. That means small packets. That means they are having certain amount of minimum energies there now. And how they are there now? Either they are positive charge, negative charge. So this packet is there. That means you can say here that not available in the fractions now. By quantization of charge on a body can be integral multiple of E now. That means N into E. I hope any body is there. The charge either 1, 2 like this. You cannot find any fractional charges here. The charges are quantized now. Now their charges are available into the multiples of E. That means 1E, 2E, 3 like this. That means you can write this value as this becomes, just to remember, this is very important from the examination point of this one. This is plus Ne now. What is N now here? Now this becomes N is equal to, either you write 1, 2, 3 and so on now. Not half, not 3/4 like this, that is not there now. Then you can say that the electric charge is there. Now this value is 1.6. This is 0.2 into 10 raised to minus, this is 19 coulomb now. Now this is the charge, electric charge is there now in the Coulomb's law. That you see, I have told you what is the Coulomb's law. How the force of attraction ripples can be measured by the Coulomb's law now. Then we have studied about quantization now. That means actually how the charges are coming here. What way we can find the charges, and first we have studied how they are represented also now. Now as I am talking about the drawbacks of the Coulomb's law now. What are the drawbacks are there? The one you have done